technical problems and busy working that we've done in the past while, we are back. Finally got our camera back up and running. One of our batteries got destroyed before, lost the charger, all that stuff. But anyway, we're back here at Wolford Campground and Marina up here in Colorado, just north of Kremling. And right in front of me you can see Wolford Mountain. That mountain's about 9,000 feet above sea level at the very top. And next to it, that little hump you see is Little Wolford Mountain. It's about 8,000 feet above sea level. A little above 8,000 feet. It's a beautiful day up here. Yesterday we had winds up around 50 miles an hour at times. And today there's barely a breeze. Water is very calm out there. People are out on the water enjoying the boating and fishing. It's a great day for it. Barely a cloud in the sky. This is one of our campsites that we maintain during the week when people aren't here. There's an electrical hookup in there. We've got our fire pit, pad with picnic table. So you got a hard surface in here, and you would just pull your RV up right alongside the site. It's kind of like a pull-through. There's no back ends in our campground. But I'll give you a little tour, show you the different things that we do have here at our campground, because it is a very beautiful location. Considered high desert though, so we don't get a lot of rain, but we sure get a lot of wind at times. There's not many trees. So if you like a very wooded campground, this is not really the place for that. But here we are, beginning of summer, and the high temperature today is only 71 degrees, and it's dry, a dry 75, so it's very comfortable out here. Beautiful day. And here at the end of every one of our loops, where we've got 3 loops on this lower level that all have electrical hookups. At the end of each one of the loops is a walkway that you can take to go straight down to the water. I'll show you that real briefly. The water level in this lake is kind of low at the moment. Normally it's probably about 10 or 15 feet deeper than where it is right now, but it has come up a lot since we've been here in early May. But it does provide for an extended swim area for people. A bit of a bigger beach for you to relax on. Fish in this lake, we've got kokanee salmon. There is a couple of types of bass, I can't remember at the moment which ones. And of course the invasive species in this lake, we've got pike. And they actually offer $20 per pike that you fish up out of this water. Some people make a lot of money doing that. They just come here all summer and get pike and get paid for it. They're not very big pike either, probably about 1 to 2 feet in length. It's just they want them all out of this lake if possible. But it's probably going to be an ongoing thing because it's really hard to determine if you got them all or not. The lake is about 6 miles in length. Here we are at the water's edge. Very calm water today. Barely even a wave. Right now there's absolutely no breeze that I can feel. Perfect day to be on the water if you had a boat. Go out fishing. This reservoir is built along Muddy Creek, they called it. The creek tended to have a lot of sediment in it, so they built this reservoir to let all the sediment settle out of it before it's released downstream toward the Colorado River. So quiet and peaceful here. The water temperature is about 60 degrees or so. And that's only the top few inches. You go deeper than that and it's much colder. So it's not really swimming weather yet. Midsummer it gets to about the mid 70s in the water temperature, which is kind of comfortable if it's a hot day. Of course, depending where you're from. And here is one of our covered campsites. Some of them are uncovered, some of them are covered. We have this little covering over top of them here. So you can sit at the picnic table out of the sun if you want. Sometimes it's very comfortable to do that, depending on the weather, of course. And this campground is about 7,500 feet above sea level, which is quite a bit over 1 mile. So the sun's a little bit more intense here, as we are much higher up. And we've got bathrooms like this. They are actually composting bathrooms. We aren't hooked up to any kind of sewer here, so all we have is septic. Even the water we get is trucked in water tankers. We don't get it from the reservoir because that is too dirty and it would cost too much to clean it. And we don't use groundwater because there is too much sulfur content being here in the mountains. So the bathrooms they don't have, they have running plumbing for washing your hands, but other than that, the bigger bathrooms like this one over here has a big composting container in the bottom. And then of course the bathrooms that are up with the non-electric sites we have on the hill, I'll show you in a bit. Those ones are vault toilets. So it's a big concrete like tub that's underneath. Kind of like an upgraded outhouse, because when you go inside it doesn't smell and it's clean. That's part of our job, is to make sure they stay clean. And we get a lot of compliments on that. And this here is our marina. You can rent boats here. We have various different types, pontoon type boats that carry, 6, 8, maybe even 10 people at a time. Go out there with family and friends. You can even bring pets on some of the boats. And our boat storage is over here for people who bring their own. And here's our boat launch where people can come launch their boats if they bring them. The only thing is, in Colorado you have to have a mandatory boat inspection to keep out mussels, various plant life. There's some worms. They're all invasive species, and so far in Colorado no lakes have been contaminated with any form of mussel, and they're hoping to keep it that way because it creates quite a mess for recreational activities if you've got mussels infested in the water. All it is if it looks like your boat needs to be decontaminated, they just use hot water, spray it through so it's hot enough to kill any of the mussels that might be growing on the boat or attached or withstanding water in your boat. Just a precautionary thing. As they say, whenever you leave the lake, just make sure your boat is clean, drained, and dry. That way there's no risk of anything coming with you. This is our day use area. It's got a great big gravel parking lot. You can come and park. Got a pavilion down there with picnic tables, a couple of grills. There's a whole playground down there for kids, swings. Little mini pier that sticks out over the water a little bit. Various little signs where you can learn a bit about the area and history of it. And here we got a complimentary fish cleaning station. You catch your fish, you can bring it in here, clean it, gut it, do all that stuff. And there's the restrooms for the day use area. Same thing, composting bathroom. Down south, I don't know if you can see in this image, there's still some snow-capped peaks over there. They got a little bit of snow. It's melting at the moment, but those peaks over there, taller one is over 13,000 feet above sea level. So they're still pretty cold there at night, and during the day I think it only gets to like maybe 40 to 50 degrees as the high. Not very warm, but that's typical for this area. Those mountain peaks are about 30 to 35 miles away, so it gives you an idea of the visibility we have here. And just on the other side of them is Interstate 70 that runs through Colorado. While this area is considered high desert, we don't really have any trees. There's just a lot of bushes and gravel. Just over the mountain ridge that is over behind us here, there is a national forest that goes all along that ridge. They get a lot more rain up there than we do down here. And you can kind of see on some of the mountains down south of us, there are trees and forests along them. You don't have to go far in this area to have a total difference in your climate. Even the top of Wolford Mountain's got a forest. Meanwhile, down here it's too dry typically for any forest to grow. Of course, there's a lot of days where we have clouds that are actually lower than that mountain right there. So it gets a lot more moisture up there. Yeah, it's a beautiful day today. It's just the wind is so calm. The water is so calm as well. Don't get them very often here sometimes. Last few days it's just been windy and storms in the area and stuff, but today is just perfect. And all around up here we do have our non-electric sites. There are no hookups up here. So if you're using an RV, you're pretty much boondocking, as they call it. Just running with whatever you've got, a generator, onboard water, stuff like that. And those are our vault toilets for everyone up here to share. And like I said, it's just a big concrete pit that's underneath those. But the top part of it is pretty clean, and we work hard to maintain keeping our bathrooms clean so that when you walk in, you don't smell anything. That's why there's chimneys on them. Pulls the air out otherwise. But we've got about 20 sites or so that are up here. Some people like being up here elevated from the rest of the campground, and it's a little more of a view from up here. We're far away from any big cities. Crumling's a pretty small town. It's about 6 miles from here, but other than that, the closest towns are about 30, 40 miles away. So at night it gets pretty dark here and very quiet. Although this isn't the environment really on this area of the lake for any bear risks or anything like that, because it's just too dry in this area. They're probably more prone to staying up in the wooded areas that are up in the more mountains or near running water like rivers and creeks. Although on the other side of this lake, people have spotted moose over there before. And all of that land on the other side is all BLM land. People go over there and camp. You can camp for free up to 14 days, as long as you stay on the trails that are marked. And we see that quite often here in the summertime. A lot of ATV people go over there and just ride around and have fun. I'm just going to show you what the site is that we get as camp hosts here. You can see how calm the wind is. The flags are barely moving today. There's all the firewood for campers that we sell. Got a nice covered picnic table area with my griddle. Cook stuff really well. Our fire pit with all the wood that people have left behind as we clean their campsites. That's just for us to use as we want. Here's a little golf cart they give us. We use to drive around on the campgrounds. It's battery powered, so it doesn't make much noise when driving other than the typical gravel sounds. Little rug that we have. We can sit out and enjoy the weather, and of course our RV, Winnebago Sightseer, that we have named Sally. And as camp hosts, we get full hookups. We got electric, water, and sewer all on site, so we don't have to move our RV through the season. There's just one more little view of what we have and how nice the day is. And thank you for watching. We hope to have some more updates coming up soon.